In his book, Civilized to Death, Christopher Ryan writes, "Traveling is in our genes. For much of our time, our species has existed. We have lived as hunters and gatherers, traveling about in small groups of people." So we understand that we are, as our ancestors, we are still nomadic in our souls and in our spirits. We may live in a very different world, a very different time, but at our core, we still long for adventure and new experiences and meeting new people. So today I'm going to share with you how traveling transforms us. So when we travel, we can gain new perspective. We can learn new lessons. These lessons shape us and they shape others as we share in a reciprocal travel experience. So what do we learn when we travel? The French novelist Marcel Proust writes, "The real voyage of discovery consists not in seeking new landscape, but in having new eyes." And this is really beautiful because it takes us to a deeper place that when we travel, we are not just there to climb the mountain or to swim in the river or taste the fruit, but we're there for a deeper essence, and that is to take from these experiences meaningful opportunities to grow and to share those meaningful opportunities with others. So we also learn through our travels how to be more empathetic, to experience cultures and to share in that cultural experience through food, through religion, through different traditions. So next we're going to talk about how we create relationships when we travel and how important this is. In her Travel Post article, Janine Christoph writes, "Simply the act of traveling somewhere new presents opportunity to meet and engage with new people." So how do we meet and engage with new people? This is really very open. There's so many opportunities to engage with people when we travel. We can join a travel group. We can take a tour. We can simply walk around, shop, go to a restaurant. All of these places are filled with people, and all of these places create opportunities that we can connect with others in our travels. And these relationships may just be fleeting, or they may be lifelong. You never know what may open up to you in the way of relationships when you travel. So we are going to talk about how we're changed from our travel experiences. The beloved chef, storyteller, and world traveler Anthony Bourdain tells us that as you move through this life and this world, you change things slightly. You leave marks behind you, however small. And in return, life and travel leave marks on you. And most of those times, those marks on your body or your heart are beautiful. So this is very poignant in the sense that it helps us to understand that traveling is a reciprocal process. We are not simply the only ones to gain from traveling. Those that we interact with gain from meeting us and learning from us. And it's a shared reciprocal experience that creates memories, relationships, lessons. All of these beautiful experiences are parts of that chaos and trust and vulnerability that we engage in when we travel. And this traveling can be simply traveling across town. It can be traveling to a different state. It can be traveling out of the country. It really doesn't have to be complicated. We can seek after new opportunities just around the corner if we want to. Anthony Bourdain also tells us to be a little bit open to spontaneous adventure, to go with the flow, and to allow the process to unfold before us. Because in those moments, sometimes that is where we have the richest experiences. In conclusion, we can look at travel like our ancestors. We can step outside of our comfort zones and our familiar lands and seek out new lands and new eyes and new experiences. We just have to be a little trusting, a little courageous, and a little open to chaos along the way. And allowing these experiences, and the allowing, we learn. And we learn about ourselves. We learn about others. And those experiences stay with us and in our hearts forever.